had to do a couple of scenes. So there you go. See,
Welcome to another edition of Hardcore Wrestling Rants. And of course, I got the hardcore crew with me. First, from the Skeleton Realms, he's the Lord Skeleton himself, Joseph Knight. Joe, what's going on?
Yeah, that bastard. Oh, shit, we're on camera here. Hey, guys, it's great to see everybody and hope everybody could see us. You know what, Rick? It's so many stuff is going on. I can't wait to dive into this thing here.
Oh, yeah, a lot of news. And of course, we also have to cover this Saturday's Elimination Chamber. But I have to introduce the incomparable Lance Moss. What's going on?
Anybody notice anything different?
No. I've noticed. I don't know what you're talking about. And I would love to welcome in, of course. She's a vicious vixen, Zoe Nightshade. Zoe, how you doing, hon?
I'm doing good, and a big mwah to everybody listening.
All right. Well, we got to start things off, unfortunately, with a kind of a bad note. Wrestling legend Marty Jannetty will have his foot amputated. Now, I am not really clear on the background of this story, but Joe, I know that you know a lot more about the situation.
Oh, God, Marty Jannetty, what a potential guy. He was at one time one of the Rockers. Obviously, he's had Central States championships along his career. You know what? Going through all of this, I've got to say we all know Marty's demons. Marty had a lot of demons, and he never took care of himself. He had a foot issue because of the injuries, and if you guys ever watch kayfabe commentaries, it was breaking kayfabe. He actually got on the table and showed his foot. Our foot is normal flat. His is already crooked. The bone is hanging on the side. It's really gross. It looks like it's necrotic now. And obviously, he didn't have the money to take care of it. So Marty was the one that did it to himself. It's all about choices. And unfortunately, Rick, what a potential guy. He had everything. He had the look. He had the gimmick. He still could talk. But after a while, the joke became, okay, which member of the tag team is Marty Jannetty? It became a meme.
Yeah.
So,
and
unfortunately,
the sad thing about Marty Jannetty, again, as you were talking about the demons, but he was also with the Rockers, and it seemed, with legend, Shawn Michaels' Heartbreak Kid. And he rose to success. He won multiple world titles. He highlighted WrestleMania. He did pretty much it all. And I've noticed, Lance, when it comes to tag teams, when they split, one rises and the other one just sinks.
I mean, you look at Harlem Heat. You got Booker T and you got Stevie Ray.
Exactly.
Now, I will say this about the Marty Jannetty shoot interview that kayfabe commentaries did. You could tell he was blasted out of his mind.
Yeah.
Now, his ankle looks like a damn softball. Oh, it did.
Zoe, final thoughts.
I hate feet.
You should see mine.
I do not want to see the picture. It'll gross me out. I might throw up. But like you guys said, one of his main issues after having this done is those demons that he had in the past. So, I wish him well. I hope everything goes for the best.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, well, we got to move on. Vince McMahon is having more troubles. A Chicago law firm, Pintus and Mullins, are reaching out to alleged victims of Vince McMahon and the WWE. The law firm launched a website called WWEsettlements.com, which has a contact form for individuals who may have experienced sexual assault, made to feel uncomfortable, or witnessed abuse by Vince McMahon or others in the WWE. Now, Joe and I, we were all talking about this before the show came on, and you still need that proof, but it just seems like the walls are closing in, Zoe.
I mean, this is going to have a lot of people either open up about what they've seen or currently witnessing or whatever, people that we don't see on TV all the time, people behind the camera, or it's going to have more people working even harder to sweep everything under the rug.
And I think at this stage, especially this, what's going on with today's climate, I don't think they're going to be able to be that easy, Joe. To just sweep things under the rug. More people are coming out publicly.
Again, look how many people came out through the steroid trial. Look how many people came out to the multiple other trials that Vince has been to. It's any good lawyer would say, guess what? This is nothing but hearsay. They got a grudge against Vince, and this is the whole thing. They don't like Vince, so they're trying to make him look like a bad guy. Unless you have absolute proof, unless you have pictures, unless you have video, hearsay means nothing. Unless you got the media right behind you willing to back this up. Again, you just can't prosecute someone until you have that evidence. And a smart lawyer is going to say, they all have their gripes. They got fired for WWE. So here they are. You can't lock someone up on a hearsay.
This is true, but you know what though? It's going to add more and more to this to Janela Grant's case. It's going to back it up. And again, right now, this is still the early stages. This case will go on for at least another year, if not 2 years. Lance, final thoughts.
Okay, I was listening to Maven's YouTube channel earlier this week. He said something that I 100% agree with. We'll never know the full extent of how deep this goes. And I think this goes deeper than the Marianas Trench in the ocean. It goes that damn deep.
It does, but eventually something's going to crack.
And I think it has cracked wide the hell open.
Oh, yeah, actually, I was going to bring up to my next subject. There is a report saying that the Wrestling Observer, of course. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Fightful Select. My bad, wrong paragraph. Okay. Fightful Select is reporting that John Laurinaitis could be flipping against Vince McMahon in hopes to avoid criminal charges himself. Laurinaitis and McMahon, of course, shared many women during their time in the WWE. Laurinaitis' lawyer went as far to say that Laurinaitis is the victim, yeah, right, and not the predator. I don't believe that one. So, Zoe, right now, it looks like they might have one person in Vince's crowd that's going to flip. I mean...
Of course he's going to flip. Does anybody really want to go to prison? They're going to do what they can to get out of prison. They're going to lay it off on this other guy. But I mean, honestly, I don't want to follow it because I'm just so disturbed with everything that has came out. I don't know how much worse this is going to make it. And as far as John Laurinaitis goes, we all know he's a freak.
He's a freak, but unfortunately right now, if he's ready to flip on Vince to save his own ass, who wouldn't? Lance, your thoughts?
Yeah, Johnny Ace is a victim in this case, and Zoe's taller than the Great Khali.
Joe, your thoughts?
You, Zoe.
Yeah, again, we all know how loyal John Laurinaitis is. And right now, he'll say that if it really comes down to it, because he's in panic mode. But again, we bring back the smart lawyer. John, you don't have nothing to worry about if they don't have video film. If you don't have that film, if you don't have anything to document it, proof, they could have raped every diva in the back. If all those divas come out and says, yeah, he touched me, he did this.
But it's not hearsay anymore. Hearsay is one person or another person. If there's more than one person in the room, hearsay is out the window.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Of course it does. It absolutely does. It's called having a witness.
Yeah. It's having a witness, but do you have anything physical in front of you?
No, not always. But, I mean, when you hear more people come up the line and more people are concurring with all the things that Vince has said and done, sooner or later you're going to have to, how far?
Again, and the thing is, again, it is, and I want to see stuff done to Vince. I want to see justice done for the women that were, done wrong, and Johnny Ace and all the other people that were done wrong. But you got to, a smart lawyer is going to tell a judge, are you going to believe former employees who have a grudge against the man? Do they have proof? Do you have video? Do you have cameras? Do you have this? Do you have that? If they don't have any of that on the table, then it's hearsay. It is just an accusation. They can go on in a trial for accusations. Yes, you can go on trial for accusations. But again, the smart lawyer is going to say, I see an empty evidence table. Where's the DNA samples? Where's the pictures? Where's the videos? I see nothing. Where Your Honor, dismiss the case.
Can I just add
Go ahead.
that I've got this feeling where these two were doing this all this time and everything. I kind of feel like there is going to end up being video. There is going to end up being picture. These are guys of power. They're going to want to remember their conquest.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
Yeah.
men are, and no offense, I love you boys to death, but men are idiots. They're going to record themselves banging a really hot diva.
Well, I mean, even in the past, Janelle Grant has claimed that they had taken several pictures, and that Vince McMahon, when he was still in the WWE, was sharing them around to like certain trusted people. But now, is it fact? As Joe said, okay, yeah, we haven't seen any officially, thank God. But you know, unfortunately, pictures like that will tend to come out if Vince has, if he's smart, deleted them. But if he sends them to somebody, forget it.
Yeah, I'll do a perfect example here. Again, I'm not defending Vince. What he's done, is definitely something that needs to be taken care of. But I also know enough of the law that you just can't prosecute someone on hearsay. But if there is pictures and there is stuff, Vince knows that stuff is probably well deleted out of everything. It's not like Soraya, who did a video and it got out.
Yeah.
There's two different levels here. So I'm sure if anybody has video that's hidden, it's probably Vince somewhere, and he's not going to volunteer that. You can't get a
I wonder
search
if Janelle
warrant.
Grant has our pictures.
If that person has pictures and it's factual, then boom, yes. Once you have the pictures, once you have that evidence, there's no way you could say Vince McMahon. And then once what's going to happen is, oh yeah, Johnny's Ace was with him, John Laurinaitis. Once you have that one proof of the picture of her and Vince, and even if John Laurinaitis is in a fleeting picture, like he's leaving the picture, that's proof to know that he was there. Now you have to prosecute to the full extent of the law, because this is not only sexual harassment. This is rape. This is on so many levels, mentally screwing somebody's mind and body. So this could really be the fall. And I said this to a friend of mine. Look at everything that Vince has done to the professional wrestling. He went from 1984, build up the WWF. He defeated every competition out there. Vern Gagne's AWA, Jim Crockett's NWA, WCW. He's defeated ECW. Now, granted, those promotions fucked themselves over one way or the other, but Vince always was there. And who brought Vince McMahon down? Himself. That's the ironic thing about this.
Yeah.
One thing, I know this kind of goes back to the case thing, but there's one thing I truly don't believe, in that it was 1,000 people that he shared that with. How in the hell did that not get out before now?
Well, the only way I can say
1,000 people.
Yeah, I think that was.
If I could say that, it's probably 1,000. If it is 1,000 people, they were probably his most closest friends.
Oh, exactly.
Probably other billionaires who probably have dirt on them. So I doubt that's going to ever get out unless some of those people are up for trial. And then I got to say one more thing, Rick. One more thing. Isn't Zoe cute as a Dickens?
They're finally getting to see the lady behind the 1-900 voice.
There you go. And it's still dreamy. Let's see if she says that again. We'll hear wood hit.
Oh God, what the Uber Westchester?
Yeah.
Okay, the Uber of Westchester.
See? And put that leg down.
Wait a minute. What? Zoe, give him one for my channel.
Coffee time and friends with Lance Moss TV.
There you go. Every
Rick,
Tuesday night.
Rick, we can't hear you.
There we go.
There we go.
Sorry, this thing gets buggy as hell. I thought
So
she just brushed
we-
off. She goes, "Oh, the 1-900." I'm like, "Oh, is that how many guys you've been with, Zoe?" Or
Oh
No,
all right, let's move things along.
I can't wait to see the photos of with Zoe with Vince McMahon. That's gonna come up, I guarantee it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, we'll know her and John Moxley.
Moving
No,
on.
Moxley.
Of course, with all this other shit surrounding Vince McMahon, Netflix could possibly be pulling his documentary. Now, the documentary obviously was scaled from when he first bought the WWF all the way up to like the recent legacy, where he had sold it. So now, unfortunately, all this other shit is going to put a huge, stink on it. And Joe, again, we've talked about Vince McMahon, all the things we've done, but you can't. And now, from now on, every time you can think about the sex scandals. You're not going to think about Vince McMahon, who started WrestleMania and started wrestling in a wholly different, brought it into a different direction.
You know what? I agree on that, but I also got to say, when you talk about professional wrestling, you go to anybody and you say professional wrestling, they're going to say WWF, WWE. They're going to say, oh yeah, Vince McMahon, yeah, he's done some shitty things, but he created Hulkamania. He started the Glory Days, which was all the talent being pulled in. Saturday night's main event, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, Survival Series. Those, when you sit back and you look at all the careers that took off in WWFE, from Ultimate Warrior for John Cena to The Rock to Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, you look at all those things. Yeah, you're kind of doing this with Vince. Here's the bad, but he's done so much, you could say good for professional wrestling, and bad, it's like up and down. But he's made professional wrestling popular. He took professional wrestling out of the dingy little warehouses, small dimly lit arenas where smoke filled. Now we're granddaddies of them all. WrestleManias, you've seen the larger than life. You saw, hell, growing up as a kid, I couldn't wait to see WWF. I still love the AWA, NWA, and all that. I watched them, but my eyes were focused on WWF because of all the characters and everything that Vince knew how to pull together. I think once, I would say the timetable for this, for Vince starting everything, being a womanizer and all that, I have to say it started during the Attitude Era, because you went from the 80s with Wendy Richter, Judy Martin, Moolah, Joyce Gabriel, and all these other women who were, attractive in their way. But let's face it, those women of the 80s, now you're seeing Playboy bunnies. You saw the Tori Wilsons, the Sables, the Sunnies, and all of these. Vince probably had a lot of shit. And you saw on TV how that character was portrayed. Lingerie, pillow fights, telling, who was it, Trish Stratus, to take off her clothes. Like she took off the top and all that. Or Sable with the hand stickers. All of those things, Vince was probably enjoying himself. And I think from that moment going forward, even if he had a little bit of it before the Attitude Era, I think once the Attitude Era took off and all of those women were hanging around, and the new younger women coming in that obviously could use a rub, that they want to make that dream job, that was going to happen. So I think this downhill thing with Vince started during the Attitude Era when all of these good-looking women came back or started coming in.
I think it goes a little bit back before then because, there was still all the talk about the ring boys who would, the higher ups would want to have sex with. If they went to ring boys, they were the young wrestlers, that was trying to make it. And Vince clearly turned a blind eye. He knew this was going on. I mean, you're the main man of the company, and Pat Patterson's your best friend. How could you not see what he's doing? There's just no way. Lance, final thoughts.
Well, okay, here's the thing. One, Vince did not create Hulkamania. That goes back to the AWA.
No, I understand where Hulk Hogan kind of started, but when Hulk Hogan came to the WWF, it took off.
Scandals, I think it goes back to the referee in the limo in the 80s.
Mike McGurk.
No, not Mike.
Mike was the ring announcer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The blonde chick.
Yeah, okay, good enough. Blonde chick. But, yeah, well, she actually, I believe
Just
she...
refiled.
What? Oh, she refiled.
She just refiled the lawsuit against Vince's ass.
That's probably going to be the statute of limitations. If she might, I don't know about civil, but any legal legalities.
Legally, yeah, but she's getting his ass civilly.
Yeah, you can't do anything with statute of limitations. It's now beyond more than 10 years.
Yeah.
Again, now, see, this is what's going to happen. If she came up now and says, yeah, I'm suing Vince McMahon because 1980-something, he felt my boobs. They're going to look at her and say, well, why didn't you say it back then? It's... And now they're gonna lump her into this other group, and they're gonna say, "Oh, you're just disgruntled."
Oh.
Yeah. Unfortunately, and it is unfortunate, how many people have been abused in this business because of powerful cliques. The Pat Pattersons, Vince, the Briscoes, who don't, they've beaten up wrestlers in the back. You have all of these things, and it just doesn't happen in the WWF. Zoe, as a worker, you've probably heard about it even in the indie scenes, it happens. So I know I've seen it, but again, there was a credo. The boys will keep to themselves or avoid it completely. Like, that's your decision. You want to do that to the girl, or the girl, you're accepting it, that's on you, and you walk this way. There's a certain credo. It happens in every business, every sport, because there is those cliques. And if they control you through contract means or anything like that, you're fucked, unless you have absolute proof.
Mm-hmm.
And absolutely, that's a shame of the matter, but, and it sucks, but as far as I would really like to see the documentary. I was even thinking about getting Netflix again just to watch the documentary. I don't know if it's a documentary, if it's a docu-series.
It's a docu-series.
It's a series.
I honestly think, they're going to put the stuff they already had on it, but there's going to be like a 1 hour a damn addendum to this shit.
Yeah.
That'll be a Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah. I just noticed something. I'm seeing Vince's picture on the screen, right? It's above us.
Yeah.
Why does he look like he's like the former president of fucking Guatemala?
Oh, Jesus. You're going to have to ask Vince that one.
El Presidente. He's a good man. No wonder all the people are jumping over the border.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wait a minute. That's Joe at SkulldandShop.com.
We have to add this somewhere, Rick.
Yeah, we did. All right, let's move along. Back in 2022, Mandy Rose was let go by the WWE due to her fan time account. Rose later boasted that she made more from her page than she did with her WWE career. During a recent interview, Rose stated that one fan spent $55,000 on her. She didn't name a name, but I was like, holy shit. who the fuck spends $55,000 on a woman and you're not even gonna see her naked? Zoe, help me out with this one.
I don't know how I can help you out with that one. There's some freaks, man. I'm telling you, there's some unstable people with money out there, and they just don't care. And honestly, yes, you can make a career out of OnlyFans. It's very easy. You can make more than what you were making as a cop or as a teacher or at WWE. It's your body. Do what you will with it. I'm not that confident, so.
Well, I don't think, honestly, she's like, getting completely naked and playing with herself. I think she is pretty much just talking to the fans,
I think it's maybe some like lingerie or bikini
Yeah.
shot.
Oh, absolutely. Bra and panties. I mean, there was one spot. I guess she was in it was at night where she was naked in her pool, but you called, obviously she was just from the neck up.
Yeah.
And she reached up once. She goes, "Oh shoot! I dropped my towel," and you saw the side of her tit. Woo! That's a. But seriously, Joe, who would really want to spend? Why would you spend $55,000 on a woman that you will never have sex with?
You know what? And she's a very attractive woman, obviously, but there's guys out there that can throw money away. It's that's to them, that's probably their fantasy woman. They want to see this woman. So anytime they could tune in and see her, drop a couple of thousand, and it's like going to a strip bar. Every time you tip the dancer, she'll pay more attention to you. So she's probably say, "Thank you, big money boy guy. Keep sending that money to me. You're pretty." Like tease them on. Come on.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, but you know what? There's people with enough money that are willing to do that. And hell, if she's getting 50 grand for one guy, shit, she don't have to work for a whole month now. Now, imagine how many other guys were that gullible who put in. There's probably girls that watch her too. So it's insane to think that throwing 50,000 on a person on screen, when you could take that money and buy a house, but if they got that money, obviously, good luck. It's not like she's gonna say, "Yeah, sure, here, I'll give you my phone number."
Yeah, exactly.
She'll probably give you the phone number of what is it, Joyce Gable or Leilani Kai.
Well, she did just get married, so.
Yeah.
And you know what? And the husband obviously doesn't have an issue with it because it's not like she's stripping. It's not like she's doing anything, really now in this day and age, illegal.
Yeah.
So, and he's always going to go home and sleep with her. So it's, you guys want your fantasy, keep sending that money and you'll see him with bags of money going to the bank with her.
Yeah, exactly. Liz, final thoughts.
Well, now, Grant, these aren't full nude pictures.
No.
So basically, this dude paid $55,000 for FHM or Maxim pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
and
come on.
Well, it's not necessarily picture, it was also video, like real live time video, but still.
I mean,
yeah, still 55,000. I can't wrap my head around it.
Whatever gets your rocks off.
Yeah.
You know what? We need to go on
That's the damn
OnlyFans. We need to go on OnlyFans and do the HWR showing our feet club. Look at that sex. Ladies and gentlemen, look at down here. The beautiful, sexy. Put that foot back up, mister. That sexy, clean, lovely foot.
It looks better than Marty Jannetty's.
Nice. No, it would be green and black and blue.
I said it looked better.
Oh, it looked better.
I do it. Yeah.
I hate feet.
Oh, God.
There you go. Back the foot there.
All right.
Make it wiggle. Make it.
Now, for those of you who got your foot fetish off, I think Joe is, getting a hard on there, and I think he has a secret fetish.
No, I'm making money here. I'm waiting for the money to start.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. Well, we haven't had it, and Terry 3G hasn't even popped in the room, so.
The one time we're all on camera properly and Terry doesn't show up. The guy who forced this on us.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. All right, moving on. Now we have to talk about the Elimination Chamber. So there's only 4 matches, and it starts at 5 o'clock in the morning because it's down in fucking Australia.
Tie the kangaroo down, folks. Tie the kangaroo down.
So the first match is Nia Jax will try to defeat Rhea Ripley for the World Women's Champion. And I don't want to see this match because you know what? I think honestly they should have brought in Jade Cargill. I've been saying they should have brought her in. They should have brought her in the day after the Rumble, Joe, but they just decided to go with this.
Again, we could see where the pull of a certain family is working here. That's why she got this. And what the fuck is wrong with fucking Rhea Ripley looking like a chaotic Joker? I mean, she's a great looking woman. She doesn't need all that super goop, you know. And
I agree.
In fact, in this picture, even Nia Jax looks good. But I think they just said, you know what? The Rock probably said, I'm going to put Nia Jax in there because she needs a break. You know, is it going to be great? No. Is she going to probably hurt herself for Rhea Ripley? Possibly. But there's not going to be no title change whatsoever. It's just, this is just a two big girl, or I should say, you know, a muscular, good-looking girl versus a good-looking, heavy girl. And she has lost weight, by the way. She is losing the weight. Now, Jade Cargill, I love Jade. Everybody knows on this show how much I really love Jade Cargill. But she hasn't impressed me in WWE, even though they haven't pushed her. But
she's not done anything. She's not had one match.
Well, she did the Rumble.
Well, the Rumble, okay, but I mean, that's it.
And that was a little bit of her performance there wasn't that great. So she's not used to wrestling anything out of AEW. So they probably said, oh shit, we better send her back to the performance center and get her more trained. Because now they invested on her. They stole her away and now she's there. I can say one thing, she's probably getting some good free money because she ain't doing anything, just training. But sometimes, you know, you think somebody is that good and you bring them in, you don't let them do what they did over there, and it doesn't work. So I hope she does get it because there's so much potential for her to battle. Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, you know, and the other women that are there. I think she will be a great addition if she can actually get that WWE mentality in, if that's the best way to say it.
All right. Well, Lance, since we're on the Jade Cargill topic, do you think they should have brought her out sooner? Or do you agree with Joe in saying that we have to stick her back to the Performance Center?
Okay, here's the thing. In her first company was AEW, and she only had 50 matches. No disrespect to Jade, she needs to get her reps in. So I think, I don't know, some time down at the Performance Center probably did her some good. Now, here's my take on the whole Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax match. Every once in a while, a champion needs to go up against a jobber talent. So, Rhea ain't losing in Australia.
I agree with you there. Zoe, last pick.
I'm just waiting for like The Rock to come in here and smack Joe across the face for talking about his family.
Hey, he probably knows it too. That's why he's trying hard to push it. Let's put it like this: the whole Hanoi family, they're such great people, but the current talent, the Usos, Roman Reigns, you know, Nia Jax, none of them are. They're not a Rock. Hell, they're not even a Rikishi.
Okay. No, I wouldn't go about as far as on Rikishi. I mean, Roman Reigns right now, could say he steps up right now with The Rock as far as legendary status. He's making this world title run, which some people are frustrated, but 5 or 10 or 15 years from now, people are going to remember that.
Yeah. But as far as this match goes between Rhea and Nia Jax, they've got to have her go up against a jobber, like you guys said. Nia Jax, unfortunately, is that jobber. Rhea's going to keep this belt up until WrestleMania. So you kind of have to make it believable that she's going to retain this belt. Nia Jax, please don't hurt Rhea. Don't hurt her.
All right, let's move along to the next match, and it's the Women's Elimination Chamber. It is Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, who made a recent comeback, Naomi, who also made another comeback, the man Becky Lynch. I don't know who the other ones too are. God, my brain is not working.
Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair and Tiffany Stratton, I think that is.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, guys. If I had to do a pick, I know Rodriguez, as much as she's a great wrestler, she just came back, but she's still battling some health issues, so I don't think WWE's going to give her a win just yet. If I had to pick the final two, I would pick it down to either Naomi or Becky Lynch. Joe, I can see you nodding your head like I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Rich, but go ahead.
I'm going to tell you right now. First of all, Liv Morgan, the crying bullshit thing that she does, she's out. She's eliminated. I predict she's going to be the first one out. Rodriguez, I don't think she's going to last long in there. Naomi just came back, so she doesn't need that. The man, Becky Lynch, who's starting to look more like a man, she's out. I think it's going to come down to Bianca Belair and Tiffany Stratton. And I think they're going to, out of this thing, I can honestly see Bianca winning this just for them to set up something between her and Jade Cargill, because they are both built women.
Well, the winner of this is going to move on to face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania.
Exactly.
So,
but things can obviously change before that. Liv Morgan's not ready. Rodriguez is definitely not ready. Naomi just came back. Becky Lynch has been there far too many times. She's looking more like the man than her husband, Seth Rollins. I think this is going to be the moment where Tiffany Stratton's going to start to shine. And what better person to put in there, as much as I joke about the ponytail and the ghetto gimmick that she does, but Bianca Belair has the ability with Tiffany Stratton to make this a better match. And who knows if they can find a way to get Jade Cargill into a match with Bianca, that's going to be a test of strength between two women who could make a good match done together. And I think Tiffany Stratton's going to win.
All right, interesting. Zoe, your thoughts?
Liv's gonna go out first, then Raquel, then Naomi. Then it's gonna come down to Stratton, Bianca, and Becky. I kind of feel like the winner is gonna be Becky, because she's been at almost every WrestleMania that she's been able to perform at in a title match.
Okay.
And they keep rehashing the same crap over and over again, so why not have her in another title match at WrestleMania?
Fair enough. All right, Lance, your pick.
All right, I'll break it down like this. One, Tiffany Stratton is just getting called up. And since this is for Mania, she ain't winning. And since they don't know if Raquel Rodriguez is going to be healthy 3 months down the line at WrestleMania, she ain't winning. Naomi just came back. She ain't winning. Liv just got busted with some smoke. She probably ain't winning. And there's rumors that Bianca's face. Well, boss, I get it, but
I know the whole situation.
TKO, brother.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's rumors that Bianca's going to be facing Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania, so she ain't winning. And they've been teasing the hell out of Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch, so she's winning.
Okay. All right, and there you have it. A lot of people seem to think that Becky's going to be moving forward. And like I said, Tiffany Stratton, considering she was new, I didn't really think she was a pick. But all right, let's move things along. Tag Team Championship. I'm sorry, it's called the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. The Judgment Day, who is Finn Balor and Damian Priest, will take on Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. I don't know who this Tyler Bate is. I know who Pete Dunne is. I think he's a great wrestler. But I'm not sure if they're going to give these guys a tag team championship. Zoe, this seems like it's just another match just for the sake of having a match.
I think that's what it is, and honestly, I think that's what the Elimination Chamber has came down to. It used to be a great pay-per-view. Now it's just like, okay, we gotta have a show before WrestleMania, and before that show, and before that show, just do the Elimination Chamber and do shitty-ass matches.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the Elimination Chamber. I have no idea who this dude is. I know Pete Dunne. I gotta give it to Damian and Finn Balor. Just because I see them going into WrestleMania as the undisputed tag team champions.
I agree with you. Lance, your thoughts?
Okay, clear a little bit of something up.
Tyler Bate.
Tyler Bate is actually the first WWE UK champion.
Okay, so he's down in NXT.
Yeah, but as much of a fan of Pete Dunne as I am, I don't see him and Tyler Bate winning this. I see the Judgment Day carrying it to at least Mania.
Absolutely. All right, Joe, your pick.
I gotta go Judgment Day. You have Pete Dunne, and you have someone who looks like John Schneider, Bo Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard with long hair. I look at this too. This is like, we need tag teams. We don't have tag. Okay, you and you're a tag team. Go fight the Judgment Day for no apparent reason. Just have them defend their belts because we don't have tag teams.
And that's the thing with the WWE. I don't know why. Even in the WWE, in their heyday, most tag teams was split, and that was it. I mean, if you look at WWE's huge roster in the main, either on SmackDown or Raw, how many tag teams do you have? I can't even count them.
Yeah. Well, they didn't just throw this match together. They won a fatal four-way to get their way into this. So it wasn't just, hey, let's just throw these two against these guys.
Yeah.
When you have two guys who they pop together and wins on a four-way team or four-way match, that shows you the state of tag team wrestling in WWE. At least I give AEW credit. They have the Bucks. They have the Gun Club. They have the Acclaim. They have you can go down the entire list of teams, FTR, that really stand out. And WWE just lacks that division. They just don't have the people anymore.
Yeah.
Well, but I feel like, and I totally butchered Pete's last name, sorry. But I feel like the tag team division has just become more of like a joke, personally.
It's been a joke for a while, but I agree.
I mean, I just can't get into it. I see the Judgment Day. Yes, they are a tag team. They're bad guys. I get that. But then the rest of the tag teams are more or less just comedy acts to come around it. I mean, look at Otis and I ain't watched it in a while. What's his name? Yeah. I mean, look at them. Comedy shit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind. I understand they need some comic relief, but when it's a tag team that's already suffering in the roster, yeah, you need that. Just bring in R-Truth, which always works. Lance, go ahead.
Tag wrestling in the WWE hasn't really been taken anywhere near seriously since the Attitude Era.
Yeah. And that's when all the great tag teams was around.
Yeah, Moss Thrasher, Godwins, LOD.
Yeah.
Hell, you can even go before that. The British Bulldogs, the Hart Foundation, Demolition, the Islanders, the Bulldogs, the Rougeaus. I mean, they lost so many people. APA, if you want to go Attitude Era. Hell, DX, the New Age Outlaws.
Edge and
Boricuas, Disciples of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Hell, Davey and Owen.
Yep. Undertaker and Kane. So I think right now they've built teams and then they break them apart just to see how well they do a singles run. And when they fizzle, now we can't bring them back together. So we just let them go on their own way. The Street Profits, why we've seen them so many times. You can't now, there's no more New Day. So obviously, Jobber 1 and Jobber 2, or Hammenegger 1 and Hammenegger 2. Let's put these guys together. Say they're a legit team, and people are going to be going to the bathroom for this, which is a shame because the Judgment Day deserves a better team.
Yeah, I agree. So hopefully for WrestleMania they will have something more built up to more respectable tag team. And of course now it comes down to the main event, which is the men's Elimination Chamber for the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship will face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. It's Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, LA Knight, Paul Logan, and Randy Orton. Now, some people, I wouldn't mind seeing Randy Orton get that 15 World Championship run. And I know, Joe, you're always against somebody else, when having the title too many times. But if I have to give an honest pick, I think it's going to be Drew McIntyre this year. I think Drew, he just re-signed with the company. He came back in a strong way. And I think he probably signed up, made a condition saying, hey, look, if I'm going to stay with you guys, I'm getting a championship belt. Joe, your thoughts?
Had to unmute. I got a dog pulling on me. Yeah, so it's just my boxer. Hold on a minute. Let me get him up here.
All right.
There he is. Here. Right in the eyes. Now go. Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I love Randy Orton. I think Randy could do a lot, but I think Randy's championship days are over. He's been to the mountaintop too many times. He's still exciting. The RKO out of nowhere is still a big thing, but Randy's also at this age that he can get into injuries. Injuries can come a lot quicker now. So, I don't think that's going to happen. Bobby Lashley is another guy. So is Kevin Owens. They've been to the well one too many times. You don't want to see them again. As much as Kevin Owens tries to be Stone Cold of today, it's not. He's laughable. Bobby Lashley, big guy, that's it. There's nothing else special about him. Logan Paul and whatever the fuck
LA Knight.
LA Knight. I think they're going to feud for the U.S. Championship. I think that's all you're going to see out of them, too. So, obviously, the best choice is going to probably come down to, if you want to make this really an interesting match and stop people from going to get popcorn and stuff, Randy Orton, the final two, Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. That's who you want to see, the final two. Make it so close. Make it so close. Like Randy's getting ready to hit him with so many, RKOs, and all of a sudden Drew reverses it. I want to see that match. I don't care about the other jabronis in there. I want to see the final two, Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton.
All right. Lance, your pick.
I'm going to break this down. As much as I love him, I don't see KO winning just because how they've been booking him. They have Bobby Lashley being in some weird ass faction versus faction thing with him and his guys versus the Final Testament. I don't see him winning. Logan Paul, God, I hope he doesn't win. Because, I'm sorry, No. LA Knights, let's be honest. I have heard many damn rumors it's going to be him versus Logan Paul for the U.S. title at Mania, so it ain't near damn one of them winning. And I'm just going to be straight up. I see 55-45, 45% chance of Randy Orton winning and 55% Drew. So I'm giving this match to Drew.
All right. Zoe, your thoughts?
So help me God. If Bobby Lashley or Logan Paul wins this, I'm going to slit my wrist. I cannot stand him.
Damn.
Bobby Lashley is all brawn, no brain. He's boring to watch. I can't stand him. He gets on my last daggone nerve. Logan Paul, is he good in the ring? Yeah, he's good in the ring. But he's still a freaking mark in my book. That's how I feel about Logan Paul. It's going to come down to probably your final three will end up being Owens, McIntyre, Orton. And I feel like at the last second, whenever Orton is setting up for the RKO, we're going to see the bro kick from Drew McIntyre. And bam, it's over. Drew McIntyre wins. I get him and I tie him up and put him back in my closet.
Yeah, and I think we're all in agreement on that one. It's just, like I said.
Oh, so we're all agreed that she keeps Drew McIntyre in the same closet as John Moxley. Okay. We're in favor of kidnapping.
I got a big closet, man.
I know. How many guys you got in there, Zoe?
I plead the fifth.
All right.
She's got so many people in that closet. She can open a Chinese laundromat because they already know how to fold clothes and hang them up.
And I know we talked about this earlier, before the show started. Billy Corgan, and owner of NWA, is signed.
I like the way you said that. Billy Cork.
I know. I was trying to clear my throat at the same time. Billy Corgan.
ECW with all the drugs, but yeah.
Okay. Billy Corgan, owner of NWA Power, announced that he signed a deal with the CW network. Below is a press conference. Billy Corgan. In short, it pretty much just says that he has like 2 deals, TV deals. They'll be coming up later on this year. Obviously, it's a weekly NWA Power, and then he's going to have some kind of like a reality show with him. And I'm like, okay, are they trying to put everybody to sleep? I mean, Billy Corgan has anything but charisma. He's this huge fucking rock star. Smashing Pumpkins. He comes on TV for wrestling, and he's like, Bueller. That's how he is. That's his charisma. And if that guy, you guys don't know what that is, that's pretty much force for. I think I don't know. Joe, your thoughts on Billy Corgan finally getting his TV deal and a reality show?
Well, the reality show, they probably will center it all around the Smashing Pumpkins, so I doubt it has anything to do with NWA Power. So, honestly, I think they're going to give them probably the worst time slot that they could probably get until they see some ticket of rating, like that 0.0001. In order for a television or promotion to get over, you got to have someone that can get this company over. They have none. If you ever seen their roster, you know why. There's a cute puppy. If you got to have the proper talent for people to be attracted. If you haven't seen NWA's Power's wrestlers, so-called wrestlers, the talent, you'll know why they haven't been on television for so long. The NWA died after Jim Crockett sold the NWA to Ted Turner, and they became WCW. It's never going to get any better. They don't have the talent, and the talent they currently have just plain suck.
Yeah, I don't even know who that. I mean, I know they had Magnus, who's now on WWE. They had Deonna Purrazzo. She's over at AEW. Serena Deeb was there. She's gone. I mean,
Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't think of anybody else. I mean, that was in there that I can recognize. So Lance, your thoughts on NWA Power going to TV?
Well, to CW, here's the thing. Women of Wrestling, the latest incarnation was with CW. And good God Almighty, that was a shit show. And I've seen some NWA Power. It's better than Women of Wrestling nowadays. I'll give them that. But other than that, that's not saying too damn much. But one last thing, it's good to see that James Mitchell's little cocaine stunt on pay-per-view didn't fully cost them a TV deal.
Yeah, no kidding. Zoe, final thoughts on NWA Power going on TV?
I just feel like anything that goes on CW is just destined for failure. I don't see it lasting more than maybe a month. I'll give it a month.
Yeah,
That's being nice.
Well, CW has actually put out some actually good TV shows, but again, wrestling, it's a mixed bag.
Yeah. Actually, in the Memphis area, they've got like 3 companies on.
Oh, really?
On Saturday afternoons.
Oh. I think I didn't check the time slot. I think it said on a Monday, and I'm like, who the fuck's gonna watch this on a Monday? But I mean, again, I could be wrong, so don't hold me to that.
On a Monday, can you imagine them going up against Raw? That's like going on Wednesdays and hell, even if they went up on a Wednesday night, can you imagine AEW just wiping the floor with them?
They did it with NXT.
Billy goes Saturday. Go Saturday.
Yeah. So.
At 10 o'clock at night.
Hell, 6:05. Your normal time slot.
You know what? Honestly, I think the 6:05 is more for nostalgic people who were watching it back then who knows what, wrestling at 6:05 on Saturdays was. I think nowadays, I think that's kind of irrelevant. I know that Joe would like, we talked about how he'd like to see wrestling on 6:05 on a Saturday, but who really watches wrestling on a Saturday aside from a pay-per-view?
You know what? Nowadays, again, wrestling was so big in the 80s that 6:05, you ran home to watch wrestling. After a while, it just got, what made it big was the Ric Flair, the Horseman, Dusty, Nikita, Magnum. That's when the 6:05 was the most strongest thing in every Saturday. Now it's just falling apart. Now today it's like, well, now we got so many other things going on a Saturday. People are not going to stay in to watch this. That's why everybody is smart. Wrestling used to be only on the weekends because they know people don't want to go nowhere. They want to sit down and watch TV. That's why the other companies used to show all their stuff on a Saturday. Now the era is different. Everybody wants to go out and do stuff and not care. That's why wrestling's now on a weekday, Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So nobody cares a little more about the weekends. If they put a show on the weekend, let's say 8 o'clock time slot, you're not going to get anybody, especially with the talent they have.
Yeah.
You're not going to see anything come out.
But, I've talked about this personally. I'm gone on the weekends. Unless there's a pay-per-view, I go out of my way to get out of the house and go out and go do shit. I'm going to concerts. I'm going to comedy shows and just other things, even if it's just out to dinner.
If I'm not out at dinner or out at one of my shows, I spend Saturday night with my husband playing video games all night. I'm not going to put my controller down to watch this.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you know what? Again, it's just like I said, it's an old era, and it was something that it was nostalgic and we loved it. But I don't think it just wouldn't work today. But you know what, guys? We are going to wrap up this edition of Hardcore Wrestling Rants. I want to thank Zoe, Lance, and of course Joseph Knight for coming on with us. Joe, you're over at the Southern Realms. What do you got going on?
Well, guys, I'm going to be returning to gaming. I've just been so tied up. But also this Saturday, our virtual wrestling promotion, WWO World Wrestling Organization, is going to be live this Saturday on Twitch at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's a virtual wrestling company. We have skits, backstage interviews, just like everything like in real life, except the wrestling part is video game, which looks phenomenal the way the guys are doing it. So definitely check us out. WWO Live on Twitch. We also have a Facebook channel. We also have YouTube. You can catch the results there. And the dog is trying to eat my arm. So, make sure you check that out. It just WWO Live and then hashtag Scoldrens Realm. Rick, one thing also, Mr. and Mrs. A, they just sent me a message. They love the show. They are saying, 100% they love HWR. So tune in Saturday night, Sunday nights at 9:30 Facebook for BC games and more. Miss BC and Mrs. A are always doing retro games. So make sure you check them out. Tell them HWR sent you.
Yeah, I love them. Lance, you over at Lance Moss TV. What do you got going on?
Well, every Tuesday night we go live on Lance Moss TV and Friends at 7:05 Central, 8:05 Eastern, where we shoot the shit for roughly an hour to hour and a half. So when NXT's on, mute that and listen to us.
All right, good enough. And of course, we have the business fiction, Zoe. Zoe, I know that you're a big time wrestler now, and you've got a lot of shows. What do you got coming up?
I wouldn't say big time wrestler.
Hey, I was trying to throw it out there.
We do have a show coming up. We just wrapped up our return to the Corbin Civic Center this past Saturday. If you were not there, you missed a show. The place was packed. I mean, packed. People were having to go get additional chairs aside from the ones that we set up to have a place to sit. We do have a show coming up, not this Saturday, but next Saturday at DeWitt Elementary School. All proceeds go to DeWitt. Make sure that you come out. You're going to miss a lot of things if you don't come out, and you're going to get lost. I know that, thankfully, my modern day Viking, the one, Colt Wilds, did retain, even though the Brotherhood tried to sneak their way in there, he did retain the TSW championship that he's currently holding. He will be defending it again on Saturday. I will share the flyer onto the Facebook room for HWR. Now, starting the second Friday in March, I will be back live on Facebook with the Nightmare Vixens live scary stories. The first one that I listened to a couple of months ago, fell in love with it, and I cannot wait to read it myself out loud to everybody that's going to be listening. I'm excited.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to hear that too. And of course, as she was talking about, we have our hardcore wrestling chat room, Wrestling Rants. And that's in the group section where we post the latest news, rumors, and a lot more stuff. So get on over there, and please take a chance and hit the like and subscribe button on HWR if you haven't already. So, for the Hardcore Crew, I'm your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.
Buy the shirt!
Now you see who says that.